Hey Box users, I'm Alex Novotny, a developer advocate here at Box. In the last video, I showed you how to use some of the more advanced features of the Box CLI. For the final video in our Box CLI Getting Started series, I will walk you through using a Powershell script to automate user and folder provisioning. Let's go! All right, to get started, we're going to visit a new page that we just launched called Automation Templates. You can find this page in the admin console under Platform Automation Templates. This lists out all of the CLI script examples that we have that you can utilize. Today we're going to use the provision users and folder. If we click this, it sends us to step 5 of the CLI Quick Start guide that we've been following. And this particular script helps Box administrators create a user, as well as create a personal folder and folder structure that user is collaborated into. And the end result is going to look similar to this, where you have a folder that an administrator or a service account can own, and then in that folder is a bunch of other folders that are the personal folders for those users. So in this example, this is R. Smith's personal folder, and I have a starting folder structure for him to look at when he starts at the company. Before showing you how to run the script, I'd like to go over some prerequisites. If we go back over to the Quick Start, scroll down, we'll see a list of prerequisites here. First and foremost, it probably goes without saying, but if you haven't gone through steps 1 through 4 of the Quick Start, I would go back and either watch the YouTube videos or follow the Quick Start to make sure that you get the CLI properly installed. You'll want to make sure that you're running the script either as an administrator, as a co-admin, or as a service account with a manage users scope. And I can confirm who's configured by running box space users get space me and hit enter, and it'll show me what user is actually configured for this particular CLI instance, which in this case is the administrator of my demonstration account. I'm going to clear the console. Next, you'll want to make sure that you have either .NET Core if you have a Windows machine or PowerShell installed. You can find the links to those installs here in the Quick Start. I'm not going to walk through that process just because my machine's already set up, but you can find any instructions that you need at the links here. The other thing that's important is to make sure that you have a parent folder for all of these personal folders to live in. So if I go back over to Box, I see that my R. Smith's personal folder that I showed earlier actually lives within another folder called Encreo Personal Folders. The reason I did this is so that if I, as the admin, am running the script, I don't want all of these personal folders to live at the root. Like if I logged in and saw if I had thousands of employees at my company, thousands of folders, it would make it super hard to traverse the all files page. So placing all of the personal folders within another folder makes it a lot better user experience for me as an admin in this example. You're going to want to make sure that you have this folder created because we're going to need this folder ID in the script. All right, to get access to the script, you can go back to the Quick Start guide. And if you have get installed and configured, you can just run this get clone command. If not, you can either install and configure get, or you can scroll up to the top and find the link for the script. And this takes you right to the GitHub repository, and you can download the code manually. I already have it set up on my computer, so I'm going to cd into the directory. And I have this really cool Visual Studio Code extension that allows me to just type code dot, and it will open the code directly in a Visual Studio Code window, which you don't have to use Visual Studio Code. You can obviously use the code editor of your choice. But this is my preference. I'm going to use it for this example. Under the examples folder, you will find all of those scripts that we saw earlier. And so I'm going to find the user creation and provisioning folder. And in here, you will find not only the script itself, but several other templates we can use to help us run the script quickly. If we look here, there's 2 inputs that we care about. One is a CSV of employees. So you can think about this like if I have 10 employees, 5 employees, I can use these here and easily change them up for my particular users. And then the other input that we care about is the actual folder structure. So like if I go back to Box and I look in R. Smith's personal folder, there's actually 2 other folders that were created. That is because I've created a structure. And you can either do that locally here within the folder itself. So there's a personal local upload, and in there are 2 folders. So if I wanted to create a 3rd folder, I could add another folder here. And when I run the script, it will add all 3 folders to a new user. Or I can use the folder structure JSON file. And what this does is it allows you to build a folder structure within one file, and it will use this when building the folder structure for the user. In this example, I'm just going to use the JSON file because it's easy, but you are more than welcome to come in here and change this up to fit your needs. In the CSV file, there are a few inputs. So we have first name, last name, email, and username. And I want to pause here for a second just to make an important point. The email, it needs to be unique across all of Box. So not just your specific Box instance, but across all Box everywhere. So if a user you're setting up at your company already has a Box account with that email, this script will not work for that user. You will get an error. Also, the username that you add here is what will get added to the personal folder name. So in my example earlier, it was R. Smith's personal folder. I added R. Smith as the username in the CSV when I ran the script for him. This username value will need to be unique across your specific Box instance. So for example, if you have 2 Bob Smiths at your company, you will not be able to use B. Smith as the username for both users while using this script. So to run the script, let's edit this email. I've run the script for 3567 before, so we're gonna do 35678. I'm gonna save the CSV, and you can run the script directly actually within Visual Studio Code, but I'm actually gonna do it in the terminal just in case you're not doing Visual Studio Code. We need to actually CD into the appropriate directory where the script is. So I'm going to CD into examples and CD into user creation and provisioning. And then in here I can type in pwsh / and then the name of the script, which in our case is users. If I hit tab, it'll actually just fill it in for me. And if I hit enter here, it's gonna ask me for some of the parameters or the inputs that we created. So I'm actually just gonna take this CSV and I'm gonna drag it over. And then it will fill in the file path for me, and I can hit enter. And then it's gonna ask the either the path for the folder structure or the local upload path that we created. I'm gonna drag over the JSON files path and hit enter. And then it's gonna ask for the ID of the folder. So I'm gonna go back to Box. And the folder, remember, it's talking about is the parent folder that you want all of your other personal folders to be created in. So I'm going to copy this value, paste it over. And if I hit enter, it's then going to create the user, create the folder, create the structure that we uploaded from the JSON file, and then collaborate that user in while the admin, service account, etc., still retains ownership of all the files created in that structure in the future. So now if I reset, I see managed user 1's personal folder with the folder structure from the JSON file that we had created here. And you can see that my user was collaborated in as a viewer uploader. Now this script is super customizable. Obviously you can come in here, you can edit the code as you wish. One big customization that I see people being able to make really quickly, right now it says manage user 1's personal folder. You could obviously come in here and say, hey, I want to actually call this manage user 1's onboarding folder, right? So you could come in here, change personal folder to onboarding folder, and if you save this, the next time you run this for another subset of users, all of the folders will live under onboarding folder for them instead of personal folder for them. Also, as you get new employees, you can run the script over and over and over again. Just make sure that you come in to the CSV input that you're using and that you're removing users that already exist. Because remember, if you put users in here with emails that already have a Box account, it's not going to work. And that's it. After going through this and the previous videos in our CLI Getting Started series, you can now call yourself a Box CLI expert. Congratulations! I really hope you enjoyed this series. There will be more Box platform topics coming soon to a YouTube near you. Until next time. If you love Box and want to see more content, make sure to like this video and click subscribe. You can also follow us at Box Platform. See you soon.